Hello there, fellow string slingers, and welcome back to another episode of Lick of the Week. Brandon Valentine here, and this week we're going to do things a little bit differently. As opposed to going through the loud and obnoxious high-gain antics and some shred-tacular misbehavior, I'm going to take you through a jazz-influenced phrase where there's some chords going on in it, some nice little neat arpeggios, and an emphasis on the flat fifth that you might not have thought of before. Before we kick into gear with this phrase, two little bits of warning. One being, it is a bit of a handful. There is a whole phrase here as opposed to a normal lick, so I'm going to be moving through it quite quickly, but don't worry, I'm going to go through every step with you. Second little bit of warning, it's really hot, and I could bust out in a filthy, aggravated sweat at any moment.
Oh my god!
So without further ado, onwards. So the first half of this phrase is... So firstly, with this phrase, we're going to start off with this section, in which we're just going to start off on the 7th fret of the A string, going to the 9th fret of the D string, and then 10th fret on the A string, followed by, which is just going to be 7, 9, and 10 on the D string, and then bringing in that harmonic minor element, and then doing 8 and 9 on the G string. Little hammer on between 8 and 9, and then pull back off to 8 again. Then 10, 9, 8, landing on the flat 5th. So then we're going to shift up to, in which we're going to go up to the 14th fret here on the D string and hold an E minor chord, which is going to be 14 on the D string, and then 12, 12 on the G and D. So we're going to do that E minor twice, followed by, which is like an augmented D sharp, which is just going to be 13 on the D string, 12 and 12 on the G and B. Then sliding up to a little bit of a quick C here, which is going to just be 10 on the D string and 9 on the G string, followed by a little hit the 10 on the A string, slide down to the E to resolve. So let's go over that whole first half, but slowly and with some tabs. So the second half of this phrase is... So going into the second half of this phrase, we're going to start off with... where we're going to start off the exact same as the first half, being 7 on the A string, 9 on the D string, 10 on the A string. Except we're going to hit that tritone straight away, the 8th fret on the D string. Now we're going to hit 9 on the D string, pulling off. Little bit of an arpeggio from the 10th fret of the A string, being 10 on the A, 9 on the D, 8 on the G. Hitting 11 on the G string, pulling off back to 8, 9 on the D string, 12 on the G string. So now finally rounding about into the home stretch, we reach this little morsel. And so this is going to start off with a kind of fun and full-on little arpeggio, which I'll slow down for you now. And so there is one thing you need to remember with this, is always the staircase. Staircase, staircase. Simply 3 frets chromatically next to each other. So we're going to start off 10th fret of the A string, 9D, 8G, 9G, 8B, 7E, 8E, pull off to 7E, 8B, 9G. So with this arpeggio, it's imperative that you make sure at the end you end up in this position with all these notes fretted. You don't want to just be going. You want to make sure that you have all as a chord. So keep that 7 on there, keep that 8 on there, keep that 9 on there, because the next move we're going to bring our pinky to the 10th fret of the D string and hit ourselves a nice lovely little C major 7 there. And then we're going to go in the same shape, but on the B string, 7 to 8, 8 on the G string, 9 on the D string, reach your pinky up to the 10th fret on the A string, which you're going to have yourself a nice little G augmented major 7, and then finalizing on an E minor, except let that high E ring out. So let's go over this whole phrase again, but slowly and with some tabs. And of course, if you like this video, click like and subscribe and hit the little bell for notifications so you never miss a video. And of course, in the comments section, let me know the types of videos you would like me to make in the future. Brandon Valentine here, and I'll see you guys next time.